Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever the case may be in this bright and wonderful world you are living. Yeah, I do look scruffy. I look a little I look a little tired. I'm Mike Miller. In case you don't know, welcome to the Aloha Hour. I am here with our co-host Edwin Boyett.
Aloha.
Aloha. Welcome to the Lone Star Squadron. And well, yeah, I don't know what it was this morning. I woke up and it was like, I got enough sleep, but I was just like, I don't know what it was. I drank some coffee. I haven't been able to just wake up all day. And then,
How far into the campaign are you?
I got 7 days left, man. Seven short days. And
That sounds about right, though. I think everybody hits this wall.
Yeah.
Because you were doing some YouTube before, but you weren't doing it like this.
No, not at all. Not at all. And you know what? That's actually kind of leading into what we're doing here today. Because I've mentioned before how with the whole crowdfunding thing, I researched, I talked to a friend of mine who's a professional at it, someone who I am going to get on this pretty soon to help teach other people how to do it. But what I failed to do was research how to successfully YouTube. And tonight, I decided to look into that. And so PewDiePie, right? Biggest flipping YouTuber probably there is. I was scrolling through his videos, and he had this video called "Don't Start YouTube Before Watching This." Yeah. And I was like, this video is 3 weeks too late.
So what did you learn, Mr. Miller?
Well, I took some notes on it because, it's not like a how-to exactly, but you watched it, right? I sent it to you. Did you get to watch it?
Yeah, we watched it during dinner. We sure did.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, the first thing that he mentions is clickbait. Do something with your video to make people want to click it, because unless they open the door, they can't come in and see what you're doing. And so I'm like, hey, that's great advice. I will put PewDiePie's name in our and I'm gonna take your advice, PewDiePie, and I'm gonna make you my clickbait.
That's fair. That's fair. Right? We're talking about the man. So open the door, get on the floor.
Get on the floor.
Everybody rock that dinosaur.
Yeah, and he talked about a lot about things people do. I put the link to the video in the bottom. Don't watch it now, but if you're interested in YouTubing, it is a good little video. It's only like 10 minutes 44 seconds long, and it's got he tends to ramble, and he tends to go tangentially into different things. But I just wrote down some quick notes. Be energetic, right?
Be aggressive.
As I drink my wine and complain about, I'm like totally not listening to the advice I listened
to. Nothing like listening to a sad Japanese man crying to his.
I'm not sad. I'm happy. Someone
try that one more time. See if you can sell it. See if you can sell it, really.
Last night, someone on the chat said something to the effect of, "I come here for Mike's smile and Edwin's silky voice."
Okay.
So hopefully, my smile is genuine. People can tell I'm not full of crap. But his point was that when people start moping, I mean, even if you've got a whole bunch of viewers, you start moping, people don't want to watch it, so they start tuning out, right?
Yeah.
And you mope, they tune out, so you mope some more, so they tune out some more, and it creates this vicious cycle where your channel just flushes down the toilet because it's a constant downward trend.
Yeah.
And that was another thing he said. It's like, look, you're gonna get downward trends regardless, right? So don't don't be doing this just because you're trying to get rich and famous off of YouTube, right?
Yeah.
If you're not doing this because you enjoy it, you and I come on here every stinking night almost, and we have a great time, right? You enjoy this.
I do. I look forward to it.
Yeah, me too. And the fans, from what we can tell, also look forward to it. You know, we were just on the stream with Ethan, and I was reading the chats. They're like, "Mike, are you doing ALOHA hour?" I'm like, I don't know. Let me ask the wife.
Yeah, my wife asked me. She said, "Eddie, are you going to do the ALOHA hour tonight?" And I was like, "Well, Miller's going to ask his wife." So.
Gotta ask the boss. Happy wife, happy life. All right, let me see here real quick. Let me get my chat up.
Oh yeah. And I haven't even shared this out yet. Oh man, I had a picture of B. Clay Moore left open. It's not something.
Yeah, I'm not
something you want to see right after dinner.
I want to keep my YouTube alive. I don't want to put that face. That face is a YouTube killer.
All right, hang on. Let me share this out. Let me share this out and then hop in so I can see the Lone Star Squadron. Share.
Colonel Comic says, "Can we somehow combine Mike's mouth with Edwin's voice?" we'll do like a voiceover where I'll be talking and it'll be Edwin's sexy voice coming over there. It's like, sorry, that's like Elvis than Edwin.
A kung fu movie, huh? That'd be fantastic.
Okay, so my next note on here is, I mean, it seems like an obvious one, but you know, work hard. It's gonna be a grind. You know, it's YouTube. The thing about YouTube is you don't get breaks. Granted, I try not to do this on Sundays, but he's like, you know, you take breaks, your audience disappears, and then like they don't bother coming back, a lot of them, and so it's like if you like take a break from YouTube, it's like starting at ground zero again.
Mike, I'm sorry to do it, but Nick P asked for it in chat, so I've got to do it. You ready?
Yeah.
Lone Star Squadron, ho! All right. Figure we'd get it out early there.
Yeah. Big dessert, Mike. Oh, here's the Atari in 4 languages, 5 languages, I guess, technically.
It's a lot of Atari.
Atari. Yeah, my aunt actually bought this for me. So yeah, no breaks because you're practically starting over. And this is something interesting that he said that I kind of mentioned it in the stream tonight on Ethan's page, but not in not the exact same sense. So basically, he was saying that, you know, like people in a community building their YouTube off of each other, that doesn't last.
No, because you hit ceilings. You hit ceilings.
That's right, and you can't feed off of the same shallow pool. So that's why, you know, I've been trying to figure out ways to grow the pie and bring people in, not just to this channel, but into the whole movement. It's funny that I had been thinking about that tonight when I think I said something about it, right?
Yeah. If everybody could say somebody else could tell somebody about what we're doing outside of the normal circles, right? Outside of Twitter, outside of the normal, we could build something very quickly.
Yeah, if you can reach. I mean, there's a lot of people out there reading like web comics, reading webtoons on their phones, stuff like that. People, if you know people that are interested in comics in any sense, whether it's the Sunday strips, whether, you know, if they like the format at all, and you believe that they'll like what we're doing, then it's up to you guys to go. I'm one guy on a YouTube channel with 55 people watching, right? But, you know, there may be 1,000 people that watch this video. If those 1,000 people go out and say, hey, check this guy out on Twitter, check this guy out on Indiegogo, check this guy out on YouTube. This movement, if they continue that kind of outreach, this movement can grow exponentially. There's so much more pie out there. I think there's like this giant pie out there, and we're all focusing because we only have like one little slice of apple that's inside the pie, you know.
Well, I have to believe that other people have noticed that we've ceded society to these blue-haired weirdos, right? And there's an alternative to that. There is a sane, healthy alternative with like good entertainment and where people will be valued, right? And we'll even talk about an idea called values that aren't some kind of abstract, subjective kind of deconstructed nonsense, that we actually believe in absolute values. And there's something better here.
I was talking with Nick at lunch, Nick P. And yeah, he was sort of like just marveling that there are people that are going out there and laying out, you know, our faith and our values on the line for the world to ingest. I don't know, but for me, it's. I mean, what else can I do? I've never been a guy who can shut up about what I believe, for better or worse.
And you can't live a life of fear. Well, you can, but you shouldn't, right? And yea, though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I shall fear no evil, for the Lord is my shepherd. And God, a healthy fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, but not the fear of man. Don't fear those who can hurt the body, right?
Yep. Yeah. All right. The next PewDiePie note. And, you know, honestly, I hope all the guys that are coming into our space here listen to this and go watch the video. Because like I said, you got to learn what you're doing, regardless of what you're doing. If you're doing Indiegogo, if you're doing crowdfunding, learn what works. Learn, you know, don't just jump in, you know, say, oh, well, look, Joe Schmo Bibbidi Bo made, you know, $50,000 on his Indiegogo. I'm just going to go copy everything he did on the side of his Indiegogo, and I'll have that kind of success. And then, you know, they end up with $1,200 and a whole lot of mud on their face because that's not how it works. You can't just cut and paste somebody's Indiegogo and think that that's the whole of crowdfunding. It's a much bigger, much more complicated, much more time intensive process, and it has to be learned. 11:47, he starts playing the piano.
It's good stuff. It's all part of the Miller family chart.
The Miller experience. I hope you guys enjoy it because it's not gonna end.
You get the Aloha hour, you're gonna get the full Miller.
That's right. Also, his next thing was, you know, and this isn't exactly what he said, but this is what I got out of it, and I totally agree with it. It's be honest. You know, you can't sell a lie. You can sell a lie for a little bit, but you can't chase the subs, right?
No.
You can't say, oh, well, this guy's doing this and he gets lots of subs, so I'm going to go do that, even though I'm not interested in it. I'm just going to do it to try to chase the subs. Even if you get those kind of subs, they're going to come back and they're going to know you're not real. You're not authentic. You're not doing what you enjoy. You're just trying to make money off of them watching you, basically.
I think the word is authenticity.
Authenticity. That's right.
And so you got to be you. Now you got to be the best version of you, but you got to be you.
Yeah. Gosh, you know what? That dawned on me at church today. Because I know I should have been thinking about the sermon, but I was.
yeah, I'm going to have to call up your pastor.
We've got a church with 300 chairs. It's not a big church. And so any given Sunday, I think between both services, probably 500 people show up. And I was sitting there thinking, man, 500 people watch most of my videos. Like most of my videos will have at least 500 views. Some of them will have 1,000 views. And I'm thinking, more people are watching me than, every day than come to listen to my pastor speak. And it put this onus on me, this weight of responsibility that, I don't know, I have to be an example.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't betray myself. I can't betray God. I can't betray the people that come to this channel. And it's only a few hundred, but it's more than come to my church. And that, I don't know, that's, I mean, a guy like Ethan or Zach or whatever with tens of thousands of people, I couldn't even fathom that, because the weight of this with just the people that come to my channel is now on my chest. Like I need to be the best example of me that is possible. And I don't know, it was a heavy weight to realize.
Well, that's something I think about too. Like if I'm a guest on somebody's channel, now Aloha Hour is a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
But like if I'm a guest on Ethan's channel, I'm trying to pay attention to what people are saying. I fail sometimes talking over people. But I try, again, not trying to be something I'm not, but I try and be the best version of myself and be entertaining and share things and pay attention not to what's necessarily important to me, but do you know what I mean? Get outside of yourself a little bit and actually listen to people. And, if somebody during the day has told me something that's important to them, then I want to share it with everybody else because I get to be their mouth for a minute and speak up for them, because people are lending you like their voice and they're amplifying their signal. So you have a responsibility to them.
Yeah, it is. It's responsibility is the right word. And yeah, if it's this heavy right now, if it gets bigger, I don't know, man. I'm gonna this stuff weighs on me. I don't know. Maybe
I gave you a psalm. Let me give you some Frank Herbert now. You ready? I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain.
Nice.
And that's the same as the psalm. It's just a little bit different. You'll do fine. You got a good heart, man. You got a good heart, and you care about your audience.
Freaking mouth on me, man. And that's what the mouth is the hardest thing to bridle, right? And and I gotta be a better. I gotta be my best me. I gotta be better than my best me. I gotta be the me that God wants me to be when I'm representing Him, because I put it out there. I am a born again Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I try to emulate Him. And if I'm betraying that, I can't. So
you can't.
It's a heavy weight. It's a heavy weight. But I'll take it. I'll deal with it.
You just got to reorient what I do for myself. If somebody attacks me, I don't particularly pay much attention to it. So if I'm going to scuffle with somebody on the Twitters or on the YouTubes, it's going to be on behalf of somebody else and maybe behalf of somebody else who's getting maligned. And so you don't put yourself first, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be a good shepherd, a good steward to your family, and you got to meet your obligations, but don't put yourself first. Put others first. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. There's only a couple more notes I took here.
Okay.
We said that be honest, don't tell a lie, be genuine. This is something he mentioned that I don't know if Ethan or DNC or any of the bigger guys have seen this yet, but he's guaranteeing you that your numbers will drop. And this is PewDiePie. So it's like, and then people start changing, and people start kind of like freaking out. It's like, you know, oh, I used to get like 1,000 subs a day or whatever, and then it'll just trickle down to like, you know, a couple hundred or something, and they start like freaking out or not even caring that they're getting new subs. I don't know, but it is sort of a marketplace, and so you'll have these crazy spikes, you'll have these great crazy spurts, and you know, you'll be elated and that'll be great, but don't panic and try to sell a lie, try to change your message, try to change whatever it is you're doing to try to chase those subs, right? And this was kind of the overall message of his video, was just do it because you enjoy it, which is kind of where we started, right? Just do this because you enjoy it. And he showed this old video from when he had, I think it was his first 100 subs. And he was saying, you know, he was just running around playing Call of Duty and saying, oh, well, you know, someone asked if I wanted to be famous. Well, I don't want to be famous. He had 100 subs, right? 8 years ago, 100 subs. Like, I don't want to be famous. But he was making these videos because he freaking loves making the videos. And so as long as you love it and you want to keep doing it because you love it, and you're doing what you love, you're talking about what you love, you're talking to people about what you love, and people who you love. I love all of you, everyone in the chat right now. Then that honesty, it doesn't matter if you lose subs, right? Because that's not what you're chasing. You're not chasing subs. You're just enjoying what you're doing, and how can you go wrong with that?
Yeah. Well, I was talking to Ro Kabir Kumar before I came on, and I had kind of realization about like some of our YouTube things. You know, some of this is actually kind of like ancient behavior, because we've got our virtual campfire here, right? We've all kind of gathered around it, and you've got the tribal elders telling stories, and then the young warriors will come and do their little dance and stuff, and it's great. It's almost very ancient behavior. I think it taps into something that people need if it's authentic, right? It taps into like a very ancient pattern where we all kind of gather together in, you know, you wouldn't think it would be that intimate, but it is kind of a very intimate and close setting like this. And, you know, we share with each other, and in the chat, sometimes I think probably the chat is probably talking to each other more than they're talking to us.
Yeah, I know.
We get to know each other. Yeah.
Yeah, we do get caught up in this, and then kind of start ignoring the chat a little more than, you know, I like answering all the things in the chat. We enjoy the Mexican you are, Mike. I'm never going to live that down. Oh, and then I read one a little earlier. The ace says, sigh, religious nut jobs. I apologize for nothing. I am a religious nut job.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. You're going to get some Jesus here and there. You'll be all right.
And it's not religion. We have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Religion is man's effort to get to God. Christianity is about God's effort to get to us. And it's a relationship with the one who created us, our Father, our Abba, and our friend.
Yeah. That's
Christianity. It's not religion, even though it is. I didn't apologize, Derek. I said I don't apologize. So, is Ethan here? I think I saw somebody say that Ethan was here. How you doing, buddy? Non-religious people, just give in and absorb the wisdom and kindness of these boys. It'll be good for you. Nice. Ethan, if you want to come in, let me know. We're only going to be on for another half an hour. So up to you.
We always get so much talent in the chat. Excavating the Ruins, the guy who just said hey to you and me, he's working on a comic book himself. I've got I think his Indiegogo is going, and I told him I got to do that before I go to bed. I got to add him to the IndieCron tracker.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna send Ethan.
Yeah.
Send our brother from another mother, Ethan Van Skyver. What a great last name.
P Money says, my wife is very happy I'm listening to two Christian guys rather than some of the frightening guys I've watched on YouTube. Well, it's good. It's good. Thank you for joining us, man. I think somebody said maybe I was walking the line talking about Big Clay more today. And hopefully I didn't sound too angry. It just I feel defensive of the people. I feel defensive of the people that are in our community and in our circle. And it's okay for us to make fun of Cummings, but it's not okay for bad actors like B. Clay Moore to try and show disdain towards Cummings.
Yes, and he's always been a bad actor, that fella. I never actually read his book, Hawaiian Dick. I got comps of it because I was working on at Image at the time. So I got comps. I probably still have all of his original Hawaiian Dick books, like when they first came out, but
let's see.
Whatever.
I had a question. What was the question? Somebody asked me if I work in comics or just promote them. I do not work in comics. I am a project manager for a demolition company. But here's what I want. I think society is sick, and I think entertainment and popular culture has been given over, or we've allowed it to be dominated by these weirdos, and some of these people aren't just weird, but they're sick and wicked, and so I want something different. And I don't think I can change the world, but I do think we can change this part of it, and so that's what I want to do. I want to help make sure that there's a parallel industry where people can produce works of beauty, works of great entertainment, and do it free from coercion of these weirdos and these sick people.
Sorry, I was trying to get Ethan in here. Trying to get Ethan. But yeah.
And I think we're going to win. I'm convinced we're going to win, Mike.
Yeah, it is. It's something new, and I don't know. I don't want to get redundant about it because we talk about it a lot.
We do,
and I don't want. I don't like.
Don't want to wear a groove in that record. Hey,
Ethan, I was just saying. Oh look, my son made blue meth. Isn't that great?
Breaking Bad. I love it. That was excellent.
Got to pay that mortgage.
For the FBI, that's not real meth. It's candy. But,
FBI, it is real. Investigate. How are you doing tonight?
Doing well, brother. Doing well. I was just commenting on your last name because I never thought about it, but Van Skyver. That is just my last name's Miller, and I've thought about changing it for 45 years.
You have like a really Mike Miller is.
It's like John
hard
Smith.
To find you. Yeah, it's hard to find you.
Yeah, there was a guy in the chat one day, or not on Twitter or something. He said he subscribed to 8 different Mike Millers on YouTube before he found me.
Well, Ethan, we are now the #5 most popular Mike Miller channel, so we've been gaining.
That's good. How do we get to #4? Who do we have to knock off?
The basketball dude.
Well, I'm enjoying you guys. I'm just sitting here drawing, my book and listening as I always do. I mean, you'd be amazed. I tune into you guys most nights.
Really?
Yeah. I don't always say anything, but I'm there.
Yeah.
I just listen.
Right on, right on.
All right, when you were telling me, and I'm sorry, you're going to have to get some scripture. I'm sorry, we had it in church today, and when you were telling me about this weirdo that was with and wishing death upon your child, we actually read the scripture in church. May I, Miller? Is that okay? It's
Yeah,
from
dude.
Matthew. All right, so this is Matthew 18 for anybody who's reading at home from the King James. At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, verily, I say unto you, except you be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And who shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea.
Yeah. I since I had kids, that scripture has meant so much more to me. It's funny becoming a father, it changes your perspective so much on how God must think of us, right? Because the way we love our kids, and we think of the way God loves us as a father, and he chooses to identify as a father for that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you flip the script and you say the greatest in the kingdom of heaven is like a child, you have to think of your kids, or any kids. I know, Edwin, you don't have any kids, but you know, you can still relate. It's when a kid, your baby, your toddler, your, you know, tween, whatever, looks up at you with absolute faith, absolute love, unconditional, like there's nothing you could do to hurt me, right? Like there's nothing you would do to hurt me as my father. You know, I could jump off a building and you would catch me. That kind of a faith. And then he goes on to say, you know, if you were to hurt that child, yeah, it would be better if you had a freaking millstone tied around your neck and be cast into the ocean, because that is the greatest betrayal. If a father would do that, you know, betray the trust of, you know, people that freaking beat or molest or whatever their kids. That is the most egregious, disgusting thing, you know, because in part because it breaks that correlation that a child to the father has to us and seeing God as our father.
Mm-hmm.
The end. free field to comment.
Yeah. And I look at it. I look at it too. Is we understand that, you know, we kind of have a sacred responsibility to children, right? Because
Yeah.
they're relatively formless, they're defenseless, and that's what I was thinking about today, man. When you were telling me about this weirdo wishing death upon your child, I was like, this is a wicked thing. And when I say wicked and evil, I don't mean this like in an abstract kind of metaphorical sense. I mean this like literal wicked and literal evil. I believe these things exist, and men express these things and do these things.
Yeah.
Gave me the shivers.
But it's what we're coping with. I mean, I don't even know. When I say these people, and I talk about SJWs all the time, and I say they're not people. You can't reason with them like people.
No.
That's what I mean, and I can't always articulate why, but in my experience, you know, when you see people saying that, taking pleasure and delight in the idea of harm befalling like that person or that person's family, like real harm, then that person has lost their humanity. And I encounter it so often now. So often I see this kind of these dark expressions of rage and evil coming from these people remorselessly. You know, and talking to them, you couldn't get through. You couldn't get through to them. You can't speak to them and say, that's not right. They'll say, F you, then stop being a Nazi. So these people, you can't talk to them. They are no longer human beings. They're demons.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
They're demonic, literally demonic human beings.
They're robots. They can't be reasoned with. They can't be bargained with. They don't feel pity or remorse, and they absolutely will not stop until your career is dead. Terminator. I don't know if you're...
That's why Comicsgate exists. You know, it's not just me. You know, it's like it's everybody. I mean, there are a lot of people that are going through this, and they're afraid, and there are people who know it's wrong.
Yeah, but the scary part is the people who don't understand that it's wrong.
Yeah.
Sierra whiskey. I know I'm yellow. Do you want me to turn my camera off?
No, you're great. You're looking jacked, baby.
Yellow all day long. I can't help it. The basement is yellow. I mean, it's just that's the color it is, and then the light just makes me look yellow too. But
did you paint it yellow, or did it come that way?
Oh, it came. We're renting this house. We've lived in this house since 2015. We're renting it. We haven't found a place to buy yet. We got married November. We decided to move into. We did this all backwards. We decided to get a place. Like I had to leave my house. Andrew and I were dating for a little while, long distance. She got pregnant. I've told this whole story. I don't want to get into it over and over again, but we decided we needed to move in together. She lost that baby. But I just left my house, strategic default. I had this house that I shared with my wife that we were way underwater in. I mean, if I had sold it, we would have lost $30,000. I would have been in debt. And I just couldn't afford it. So I just walked away from that house, moved up here. We got this place together and decided to like try again, have another baby. We got Ava. And as soon as Ava came, we had to do that first. For some reason, we had to have the baby first. We felt like time was ticking. And then we got married in November and just kind of made our family solidified. And now we're going to buy a house. See how it all, I mean, this is like everything just kind of comes together the way it does. And it's just that if I had any doubts about the existence of God before, and I don't talk about this too much on my own channel. I do. And when I do, I get in trouble. Everybody gets mad at me because I have a lot of followers and, a lot of atheists, want to come down on me. But if I didn't believe in the existence of God before, if I ever had any doubts, those doubts have been completely wiped away. I'm positive about it now. I'm absolutely positive. The way things have worked out for me, and the way life goes. I mean, Mike, you hit rock bottom. Okay. You hit rock bottom for a reason. And I hit it 3 times. I hit it 3 times in the past 3 years where I just couldn't see how I was going to get out of this mess. Divorce, losing that baby, and then leaving DC Comics, being harassed and threatened, leaving DC Comics and just being like, I have to go jump. And I told my fans, I said, I'm going to jump because I have to jump. Like, it's almost like you're being pursued to the edge of a cliff. And it's like, I'm going to jump and just hope something catches me. And the fans did. Each time something this awful happened, each time I found myself in a position where it just seemed like there was no answer and there was nothing, there could be no possible future. When I was in pain, something so much better was waiting right around the corner. Something so much better. Divorce, dating Andrea. I was always meant to be with Andrea. That's just so much more clear now. I met her when God gave me a preview of Andrea when I was 18 years old and she was 16. I mean, I got a preview of her. It's like, that's going to be your wife one day. Crazy. Losing that baby and just feeling like, okay, we're too old to do this. Maybe we're too old. Maybe we can't get this baby that I've been waiting for 15 years and Andrea has been waiting for so long. Can't do it. We're too old. And then Ava came along and Ava's perfect. couldn't have asked for a more beautiful child. And then, you know, it's like leaving DC Comics after 20 years there. 20 years of just kind of stability. I mean, I was making good money at DC Comics, but I wasn't going anywhere. It just wasn't going anywhere. The question was always like, when are you going to retire? And I'd say, well, I guess I'm going to work at DC Comics until I'm 80 years old. And every time my contract came up for renewal, it was just like, I want to do Cyberfrog. There's a whole article on CBR where I decided I was going to do Cyberfrog in 2010 and talk about Blood Honey.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And let me ask the same thing to Mike. How much of you gentlemen's esteem, your sense of identity, was tied in to working for one of these premier comic companies, right? Because there's nothing bigger. Up until now, there was nothing bigger than Marvel or DC, right? I mean, that's it. And if you don't work for Marvel or DC anymore, did the threat of the loss of that, did that affect your self-esteem at all, or your identity?
I've been through this before.
Yeah.
Things change. I think that when I was working at DC in 2010, 2012, yeah, like I was like, I am DC Comics, because I was so tied to Jeff Johns, so tied to everything that was going on. But it's just like Jeff moved on to something else. DC Comics just changes, and you just kind of find yourself in this position of just getting a script and drawing a script, and the creative energy is gone, and you no longer feel like you're contributing anything that's of real worth. And
you're just a pixel jockey.
Yeah, it's not who I am.
Yeah.
And that's not who I am.
It's really, I mean, it's probably confusing for people who are like, well, you get to draw all day, but drawing isn't the end all be all of creative people like Ethan and I. We have it in us, and it just wants to come out. And when all we're doing is pencil jockeying to pay the bills, it's stifling. It is stifling. Even though, you know, I would sit there and draw all my life anyways, but really at heart I'm a creator. And I mean, you hear it. It's like Edwin's probably heard half a dozen different ideas from me on these different things, but I've just been doing this for so long, and all of my creations have just been sitting there waiting for me to set them out, let them go, and set them free. And this is finally, I finally see that as what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 or 20 years, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's here's the tangent to this. Now, I think being an independent creator within Comicsgate, within this idea, right? Within this idea is not tertiary to working for one of these companies, right? It's really not, because I mean, you just had a massive success with Cyberfrog. Mike is well on his way with LONESTAR. I think inertia is going to build for Mike. I think like the second one of these we do for Mike is going to be massive. Rainbow Brute, I think it's probably going to be ridiculous.
Well, it's definitely going to be ridiculous. You know. Yeah, I mean, look. The truth of the matter is, the only way to really get wealthy at comics is this way. And it's a risk. It doesn't work for everyone. But I don't think anyone's ever had this kind of backing network before. I had an idea way back in October that this was the thing to do. I looked at channels like Comicstorian and Comics Explained. These guys have 1.5, 1.6 million subscribers.
1.8 for Comicstorian.
Okay, million.
Yeah.
So I said to him, we became friends, and I said, if you ever wanted to launch a comic book, you would destroy Batman.
Yeah, I told him the same thing.
And he said, that's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to him, and he's saying, like, well, I work with Marvel and DC, and I don't want to lose that. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, you have more subs than they have readers.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, well, would they all turn out? But in any case, you know, you look at my Indiegogo and 10% turned out. So 10% turned out to buy the book. So you can count on 10% possibly of your subscribers to support your project.
Yeah, dude, I got over 50% of mine.
Yeah. Well, we're helping you.
Yeah.
So you're getting some of ours too. But yeah, in those terms, I mean, you know, that's what you can expect. So somebody like him could easily outsell Batman.
Yep.
And you know, that's kind of encouraging. You know, that made me want to start my YouTube channel and start working. First of all, I love making YouTube videos. Absolutely love it. I wake up every day and I get a new idea every single day. I really enjoy it. I like the kind of tone that I take when I read the news articles. I feel inspired when you know, jokes come to me like a spur of the moment.
Yeah, man, you're a natural at this.
People are enjoying them. You know, this is great. You know, this is a lot of fun. But also the idea of using YouTube to promote your comic book. Something that, you know, first of all, DC Comics would say to me, we'll promote the books. We'll promote the books. We don't need you to promote them. We'll do it. And I'd say, yeah, but what if you're on like a D or C level book, you know, and you're only promoting metal, you know, you're only promoting your big projects. How can I help? You know what I mean? How can I use social media to help? And they'd say, we don't want you to. And they'd send out these mass emails that were just like, you know, if you want to promote any of the books that you're working on, run it by us first. We have to approve your method of, and it's just like, I'm in a prison. You know, it's like, there's no way for me to help myself without getting DC's express permission. The only way to do that is to go off on your own.
Yeah.
Now the ideas that I've contributed to DC Comics have done very, very well for them. So I have no reason to doubt that if I used my ideas and just sold them myself, I'd do just as well, if not better.
Oh, far better, because you're not only getting like 2% or 1.5% or whatever, you're getting 100%. You know, I mean,
you know what?
Ethan, did you watch or were you listening at the beginning when we were talking about PewDiePie and all that stuff?
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
Yeah, he's exactly right. Except for the subs going down. I think for the most part, you'll lose some subs. Most of the time, you won't notice it because if you lose subs, they're replaced.
I think maybe he's talking about like the viewerships of I mean, the dude's got 65 million viewers, but only like 4 or 5 million of his subs watch his videos.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you're not getting 50% of your subs watching.
Views go up and down.
I think that's what he was talking about.
I watched a video today about Mundane Matt, and like it was about Mundane Matt is becoming like a fascinating thing to me because he came after me personally, and I was like, why? What did I do to this guy? But I started watching these videos. A lot of people are making videos about like the death of his YouTube career and how he got lucky because he had one thing that happened to him that he was able to blow up into a career. For a long time, he was able to just release these boring ass news videos because he was riding off of the fame of his Gamergate reputation. And you know, you watch his channel is slowly dying because of mistakes that he's made, and he continues to make. Coming after me was a huge mistake, and I told him so. I said, you don't want me to turn. He's like, people have made videos about me before. I'm still here. I'm like, we'll be your last. You come after the Fandom Menace, and that'll be the last time you come after anybody. This fan community will destroy Mundane Matt. And he's just like, I said, don't go to war with the Fandom Menace, Mundane Matt. Don't do it. You know, our fans are awesome, and they will not stop.
Yeah.
You know, watching the end of his career, he is dropping subscribers for many, many, many different reasons. He's got 170,000 subscribers. He gets views lower than mine. I mean, you know, bad videos. He'll get like 5,000 views on a video, whereas a middle of the road video by me gets 12, 13,000. You know, that's sad. You know, that's messed up. So you want to kind of learn from that example. And what PewDiePie said, he said, never lie. Never lie. Don't ever tell a lie. I mean, you have to be honest. You don't have to tell them everything. You don't want to make them sad. You want to make them happy and have fun.
I shared my kidney stone with my family.
You can do that if you want to, as long as they're being entertained. But I mean, never lie to them. Be cheerful, make them happy, have fun with them. My subscribers have decided to call me names and tell me I eat pie and make fun of my toe thumbs. That's just part of the experience while we make fun of Star Wars and pop culture.
It's done out of love. Hey, I just broke 44,000, so woo!
Did you really?
Nice. Yeah, congratulations, man.
Congrats. Yeah, I mean, you don't know how long this is going to last. This is a gift. You don't know how long YouTube is going to sustain itself. All you can do is just keep producing entertaining content and just be good to your subscribers and hope they stick around. Because new stuff comes, new people come along every single day.
And get them to sign up for your mailing list, which is in the description. In case anything ever happens to YouTube, I can still keep in touch with you. So,
and we did
have a mailing list set up, Ethan?
What?
You have a mailing list set up?
Mm-mm.
You should probably do that too.
Well, I mean, the thing about Indiegogo is that, the people who backed your first book, you get all their addresses. So
right.
I suppose if I were energized, I could sit there and mass mail everyone when Rainbow Brute comes out. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. When Rainbow Brute comes out, I'm going to pretend it's my first Indiegogo campaign. And we're just going to relaunch it again, and we'll see if people catch on to it. I might use a mass mailer to remind Cyberfrog buyers that Cyberfrog #2, Wrecked Planet, is available. But all this is just, it's not stuff that I want to do. I just want to keep making content. The success of Cyberfrog Blood Honey is so outrageously extreme. $100,000 was like a pipe dream to me. I can't expect to repeat that. What happens if you develop the attitude that less than $500,000 is a failure? What happens? What happens to your psyche at that point?
Well, you got to be realistic, though. At some point, you're going to want to do some particular project, and you're going to want to do it, right? And it's just not going to be for everybody, but you're going to enjoy doing it, and so it's going to be worth doing.
Okay, well,
you know what I mean? It's going to happen.
Comicsgate attitude. That's not the Comicsgate attitude. that's mainstream comics attitude. Comicsgate attitude is, what do you want? What do you like? Did you not like this?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Okay, so
you're willing to put your consumers before.
Commercial. We make hot dogs. We make hamburgers. So it's like you guys want Bigfoot Bill versus Cyberfrog? Have to do it. We have to do it because we're here to provide the product that you want.
They have genuinely good ideas.
We're just here to have fun. I mean, the idea that we're producing art, art for art's sake, is what's.
Oh no.
It's what we certainly if Cyberfrog comes out and the fans don't like it, there's not going to be a Cyberfrog #2. I'm going to go, how's Rainbow Brute? Oh, you prefer that? Here comes Rainbow Brute #2. Here comes Rainbow Brute #3 and 4. You have to work that way. That's the way this business is run, unless you want to go out of business. So, Lone Star comes out. Mike's got 3 other ideas in the pipeline. If Lone Star isn't the one, the next one will be. And you just have to kind of keep your ear to the ground and listen to what the fans are saying, because we are trying to develop a product that they like and want to come back for.
Well, now, one thing,
everyone's clamoring for Godsword now that I pitched it yesterday. It's like, come on, man, I got the.
we did do one thing this weekend though, and maybe Miller is at a different scale now, so it was a little bit easier to do. One of his fans volunteered to set up a Lone Star Facebook group, and so now we've got a persistent place where all the Lone Star Squadron can go on Facebook and talk. And so Starfire Outlet here in the chat, thank you very much for setting that up. We appreciate you very much.
Yeah,
and Lone Star, we got about 7 days and 30 minutes. I have 7. This is going to be a long week.
It tires you out.
Oh, dude, I'm so freaking beat already. This week is gonna kill me.
And you can't draw as much as you want to. I mean, you really do have to spend this time promoting the book. You know, I did about 12 pages throughout the entire 2 months of the campaign, and it's just like, you know, I want to draw. You know, I want to draw. Now I'm free to just draw all day. I have to do my YouTube videos, but other than that, I'm just drawing Cyberfrog and having a fantastic time. This is exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and you can live stream while you're drawing too. It's like best of both worlds.
They say that they want that. I'm iffy about it because I don't want to show them anything.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil stuff. But if there's like non-spoiler pages, I'll totally. That's fine. I like chatting and drawing. Hell, that night we were just both drawing and talking. That was like being in a studio again. It was so much fun.
Well, yeah, I'm concerned. Cyberfrog is going, and I'm not putting any pressure on myself. I realize that I can't overthink this. Cyberfrog is going to be scrutinized beyond belief.
Yes,
I mean, it has to be absolutely excellent. It has to come out on time or in semblance of time. I'm as long as I get it out in November, I'll be satisfied with myself. But I want to get it. I want to get the books in my hands October 31st. Spend all of November shipping these things out, and just make sure that everyone kind of has it or it's on its way before December 1st. So that's the schedule we're on. It needs to. I'm like looking all about as I talk. I'm like scatterbrained. This needs to come out. It needs to come out. It needs to be excellent. It needs to be an A+ comic book because everybody's going to be looking at it. So, and everybody is going to be looking at it. The people that bought it, that's one thing. I'm going to have overprint that I'm going to sell through Amazon, I think, or I don't know. But anyway, people are going to get their hands on it. They're going to see it. They're going to review it. The SJWs are going to want to tear it apart.
Oh yeah, your critics are going to be pulling that apart so they can find something to, stick the dagger in you. Yeah.
Well, Ethan, keep in mind, you might want enough overprint to offer both 1 and 2 as a tier in your next Indiegogo.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, listen, I don't know where I'm going to keep all these books.
Right?
It's like our house isn't really a warehouse, so we have it all set up. Andrea's got like the garage and then the dining room and then the extra.
Are y'all still gonna fulfill from your house? Are you still doing that?
Yeah,
you're crazy.
I prognosticate he's gonna do it for about 4 days before he wants.
Oh, brother!
And then he'll hire someone else to do it.
Well, we'll see what happens. You know, if that's the case, then I'll hire more people to come in and help. I mean, that won't be a problem. But
hire Nasser to come over. I don't think so. Yeah, Nasser would drive me nuts in no time. I love him, but yeah, he would drive me nuts. There are people who want to come over and help. You know, we have friends. So that, we'll see what happens. But this, to me, me and Andrea, this is going to be kind of a bonding experience. We're going to get to spend every single day for a month. You know what I mean? Like together, working all day long on something. So that's nice. I mean, most of the time, I'm down here drawing and she's upstairs, doing housework and watching the baby. So it'll be nice. It'll be a nice experience.
Let me ask you some practical questions.
Yeah.
Have you tried printing any of your shipping labels yet?
No, but we are buying a printer and we're buying a mailer. We're buying one of those mail things. So we don't have to go to the post office.
Make sure it's a laser printer.
No, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. I have no idea. She's doing all the research up there. She's got a plan for how to do this. But all we have to do is do 200 of these a day to get them out or something like that. I mean, it's going to be crazy, but yeah, we're going to do it. It'll be nice.
Are you going to live stream the fulfillment? Because that's going to be all you're going to be doing for a month.
It'll be fun. Yeah, it'll be fun.
It will not be fun, Ethan.
I'll live stream some of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is part of it, guys. This is part of it.
Your poor little toe thumbs are going to be bleeding. Your poor little toe thumbs are going to be bleeding from sealing up packages and pulling tape and.
Yeah. And all the signing and drawing and everything. It's gonna. I'm telling you.
Oh, that's nuts! You've got to do sketches, yeah? How many sketches do you have to do?
Like 800.
Oh my lord! Oh crap!
There's a lot that comes with success,
brother. I'm gonna be praying for you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm very happy about it. I'm very happy about it. We'll get it done. You know, it's gonna be a lot of work, but we're gonna get it done, and it's gonna be nice. Look at baby, what is you doing? We can do it. We can. No, I have to sketch on the comics. I have to sketch on the comics. That's the thing. I would do it now, but the sketch is on the front of the comic.
The week after this, you need to take because this is going to be it's already going to be cold in New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the week after you don't get the last package shipped, you need to take your wife to someplace sunny where she doesn't have to cook and where somebody else makes the bed, and there's fruity drinks with umbrellas in them, because you're gonna owe your wife after this, brother. You're gonna owe your wife big.
She's gonna be very, very happy. Believe me. I mean, this is a lot of money. And then Rainbow Brute is going to be going on while this is going on. Rainbow Brute is going to launch October 1st. So Rainbow Brute's campaign, well, Rainbow Brute will be going while the books are at the printer. It'll end when we start the first month. If we decide to double it, and we're probably going to double it, we'll end, November 1st. So then the second month will go on while it's going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
But this is it, guys. What does it mean to possibly make 7 figures in a year? You know,
right.
It's like if Rainbow Brute is as successful as Cyberfrog is, that's a 7-figure a year, obviously. Yeah. It's like that's the kind of work. That's the kind of get your hands dirty, get in there.
Are y'all hooked up with a real accountant, like a real accountant who can help you structure stuff so you're not just peeing all this away in taxes? Okay.
Absolutely.
Good.
We've structured an S corp. We have great accountants. We have tax lawyers. We just hired a trademark attorney who's going to go through and make sure that we can own everything. And the trademark attorney is working on getting us to keep Rainbow Brute. So it's like I have to fix Rainbow Brute so I can own him. Like, I got to change his name. I got to change a few things about the way he looks. Because I want to own the idea of a fairyland barbarian. You know what I mean? And all of the fake versions of 80s toys. How many of them can I keep? What do I have to do?
Well, I think your fans would agree that you own the idea of a fairy barbarian.
It's a great idea. So how do I keep Rainbow Brute? What do I have to name him? How different does he have to be from the way I've already designed him in order to do Rainbow Brute properly?
Is it because the Rainbow Bright, obviously?
Of course. And he's got Rainbow Bright's logo on his chest piece. So that's got to go. I got to do something to change that. And a couple of other things. I mean, I want the Care Bears have to be in it, but they have to be. Obviously, they're Care Bears, but they're not Care Bears. All these things. I mean, I might just be being greedy to want to own these characters, but I do want to own them.
Are they Pie Bears? Maybe they're Pie
Bears. That's my other fantasy. That's my strawberry shortcake, strawberry strumpet.
Oh, the strumpets.
Yeah. They're just beautiful women that feed you pies.
Oh, no.
That's what they do. They seduce you and feed you pies. It's the strawberry shortcake girls. It's like instead of sex, it's baked goods.
It's pie. Yeah, baked goods.
Yeah. It's perfect. It's perfect. John Whalen says upside down rainbow. Somebody says, "Are you not protected by parody law?" Yeah, no, I am. But you can't. But I can put the book out, call it Rainbow Brute. It's a parody book. But what if I want to sell the concept to be made into a movie?
Yeah, parody sort of has to be like a short-term, one-off or miniseries type of thing. I don't think you can do an ongoing parody.
Right. Yeah. So that's the question.
It is.
But we'll figure it out. We will figure it out because it'd make a great movie.
You could do the Nonchalant Bears.
Well, no, it's just a matter of making people can know. Okay, so can I draw a realistic bear that's colored, You know what I mean? Like pink
Racist.
and blue and yellow. And they have symbols on their tummies, but they're not Care Bears. You see the problem? I mean, it's just like, how do you do that? Yeah, and the monkey keys are going to be no problem. I'm not worried about the monkey keys. John Whalen in the chat goes, I want to suck you. The monkey keys. Yeah. I asked people if they wanted a t-shirt of the monkey keys that just says, I want to suck you. And nobody said yes. Nobody said yes.
Well, yeah, I think unless you can pull off that open mouth soy face smile, you probably don't want to be walking around with a t-shirt that says I want to suck you. Just
what if it just said suck? What if it said I suck and it was a munchie chi on it? I don't know, maybe that would be. That's what they do. That's the whole point of a munchie chi.
Munchie chi. Oh, so soft and cuddly with the thumb in his mouth. He's really sweet. Fun to wiggle his little feet. Yeah.
The weirdest toys. I remember them all.
I know, right?
Their mouths are permanently affixed to put something in their mouth for them to suck on, and they use their little thumb in their mouth. So they have to be in this. The munchies have to be in this. Hey, Mark Wade's in the chat. You bigots are lucky I'm not in this stream because I would smash your desks in.
It's a possibility.
Poor Mark. Mark. Oh no, I'm confusing Mike and Mark now. I'm exhausted.
What time is it where you are?
It's 12:40. I know you're 3:40 in the morning. You're insane.
Yeah.
You're a madman, EBS.
I know.
Did you get any drawing done today, dude?
Yeah, I'm drawing like this intense page with just Cyberfrog eating chicken, and this page has been taking me 3 days. So I put it down and I started something else, and I'm picking it up again. And it's Cyberfrog eating chicken and Heather Swain. There's Heather sitting there having
Wow, that hair is great.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry, I'm a hair dude.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna leave it up there. Nice.
Cool.
Very nice, Ethan. You are doing your best work on this, aren't you?
Look at him shoveling chicken in his face.
Oh, you're lying.
Yeah.
Is this a fantasy you've had, or?
Of just uploading a fucking chicken in my mouth? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Mortal V says, is that a Me Too shirt? No, that's 1998. It was a better time. That's a Tool t-shirt. That's a Tool t-shirt. So that's young 18-year-old Heather Swain. When we see her again in Blood Honey, she's 38 years old. And this was the last day that she's happy, which is kind of crazy. I love this. I absolutely love. I love doing this.
Well, that image is sexy, man. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful image.
For that. That's nice.
Are you doing a Frank Frazetta kind of thing?
Nah, because it's hard for Andrea to do it. She goes, "What do I have to do?" And she just gets she's embarrassed about everything like that. She doesn't want to be on camera. She doesn't really want to pose for these things. But I ask her to do this whenever possible. It's really
Have you asked your wife to do anything with your channel? What do you mean, like on the channel?
Yeah.
I haven't asked her to. I don't. She's not quite the what do you call it? Exhibitionist I am, I guess. I don't know what.
Yeah, exhibitionist is the word. Like you have to be willing to kind of put yourself out there, and my wife isn't like that at all. I mean, when you hear her voice in a video, one of the videos that I make, it's usually because I've been like, come on, just do it. The fans want to hear you, and she'll be like, okay. But I tried to get her to do it today, and I just didn't have the joke ready for the opening intro of this video. So I'm like, you're going to say something like, and she's like, something like, oh, forget it. I don't want to do this one. I'm like, you have to just get it. You have to have the joke ready for her, and then she'll do it, but.
I tell you, if I had my wife come in here and just sit on my lap while I talk, my subs would skyrocket.
Well, it works for the Breitweisers too. I mean, you know, Elizabeth is a great colorist, but she's a beautiful girl, and you know, I really think, you know, I really think that, you know, her being in the videos really does kind of help. You know,
we had to beg for months to get her to do that interview, though. I mean, we had to work on her and work on her. She did not want to be. Yeah, that took a lot of doing. I hope at least for a couple of minutes, even if she doesn't show her face when we do the second part of the interview with you, because I don't think she was happy with the way the story got told, how the two of you met, and
she has more details. She has a better memory of it than I do. I have scattered memories of that. I remember her, but like I wasn't thinking about dating her. I was thinking she was just one of my friends. She was thinking, why isn't this guy dating me? So I made a bigger, like, kind of impression, had more of an impact on her, you know, on her memory. So she remembers things that I really don't, like how many times we hung out. And you know, I don't have that memory. Also, one thing that just kills us is we got into a photo booth together at the mall. You know, we took like a strip of photos.
Yeah.
Lost.
Oh.
We think about that all the time. You know, we think about that all the time. Like, where did they go? You know, like, are they somewhere? Are we going to recover them? You know, just 18-year-old me and 16-year-old Andrea together. How did we lose that?
I met my wife at California State Summer School for the Arts in 1988 when because she's a dancer and I was an artist, and it was this, you know, thing for arts. Yeah, I fell in love with her there. I kissed her for the first time on her 15th birthday, which was 30 years ago, like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that insane?
Amazing.
How old were you, Miller?
How old was I? 16.
16.
Yep. Yep. I mean, then we moved back like 500 miles apart, and then, but a few years later, I moved down to San Diego, and she lived here at the time, and I came down for San Diego Comic-Con, and I called her up. I was like, "Hey, I'm going to San Diego Comic-Con." She's like, "Oh, I live in San Diego." So she met me there. We went out. I got her. You know, I drew a little stamp on her hand to get into the bars, and and we just hung out all night. And oh my gosh, she was adorable in high school, right? When I met her at 15, but she was just the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen when I saw her again in San Diego, and I was like, wow. And I didn't even, you know, I didn't kiss her or anything that trip, but like as I was walking her to the door of the hotel, I was like, if I move down here, will you go out with me? And she's like, maybe. So I moved down. And I moved down. We got together like the first night and then we went out to this bar. And then I was like outside of the bar. I was talking to some guy, and she walks up next to me, and I introduced her as my girlfriend. And then I turned to her and I'm like, "Do you mind if I say you're my girlfriend?" And she's like, "No." And that was it. We were done. We've been together like friggin' every day ever since. It's great.
Yeah.
I like her just kind of casual, like, all right.
Oh yeah, it was the same thing. It was the same thing when we got engaged. We were visiting her grandmother in Florida, and we're driving up to Disney World in torrential downpours, right? And we're just driving. I'm driving her dad's car, and I'm like, "You want to get married?" And she's like, "Can we have a long engagement?" I'm like, "Sure." She's all, "Okay." Like so unromantic. It's terrible. It's like the worst story, but that's kind of our whole thing. Oh yeah, and then this is the funniest part.
Well, hang on. Chat, make a note of that just in case. Our engagement was just the worst story. So we got to make sure if Mrs. Miller ever comes on, we got to make sure to relay that little quote to her.
So I'm, you know, I was a young Christian. She was sort of, I thought she was a Christian because her dad was a Christian, her mom was a Christian, and Tom Miller. Hey, that's my brother. Where's the teddy bear video? and we're sitting in her parents' house, and her mom's sitting. You know, we're sitting at the kitchen table, and her mom goes, "Mike, I just wanted to tell you, you know, how proud I am of what a good Christian you've become." And I freaking slam my hand down on the table, and I'm like, "Woman, I'm living in sin with your daughter." And she's all, "Well, there's that." And and I'm like, because she and her father had, her mother and her father had always kind of impressed upon her not to get married young, right? And so that's kind of how her mind was. And so she'd always said that her parents didn't want her getting married young. And so when she said this to me, I go, would you care if we just drove to Vegas this weekend and got married? And she's all, "No, not at all." So I like yell upstairs. I'm like, "Jill!" And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "We're going to Vegas and getting married this weekend." And there's this dramatic pause, and then she goes, "Okay." So, Tom, it's one of the Aloha hours. I'd have to backtrack and figure it out. He's asking where the teddy bear video is. I know we need to like cut it out and do a specific short on that.
What was the name of that one?
It was an Aloha hour during Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So July 19th or 20th, I think.
Sounds about right.
Oh, it's music to waltz us out of the Aloha hour.
I was playing "How Deep Is Your Love" while you were calling me.
How deep is your love? Deep is your love. How deep is your love?
Ethan had a giant bear in his bunker. Oh yeah. Oh, it's still there. It's still there. I got a giant bear like sitting on the chair over there.
Oh, did you not see that video, Ethan?
Which video?
So here, you know what? Let me find it and play it, because it is a hilarious clip.
Yeah. I was not ready for it when it happened live, and it kind of destroyed me. But the human mind just couldn't be prepared for that.
Tom says you forgot to tell your brother when you got married. Yeah, we didn't tell anybody, my parents or anyone, because later on we had like a big wedding for everyone to enjoy. But this was just us getting right with God right away. So. What was the date?
Sierra Whiskey with the yellow. How yellow is your basement? All right, where's the video?
I'm looking for it real quick.
Oh, I see.
I think maybe
Sierra
it's...
Whiskey's
No, not that one.
Jokes that are killing me.
Oh wait, maybe it is this one. Let me check. You guys chat while I... Oh yeah, this is it.
You got it?
Yeah, let me bump it back and then share my screen. All right. Check this out, Ethan. Wait. Oh, don't.
Yes, go Purify. I am drawing.
Wise men say only fools.
Sorry, I have like a really slow
rush
slow.
in.
Oh, wait, what the heck? Did this change? Wait, that's not the right one.
I
What the heck happened?
help falling in love with you.
No, that's not the right one.
No.
No, it was when you were... Yeah, that was the one. What
We're
the
on the air.
I love Edwin laughing.
Good morning, good afternoon, whatever the case may be.
That sounds like Mundane Matt.
There it is. All right, I'm just gonna leave it this small so it's.
I'm gonna have to find another job. You know, maybe I'll go be a graphics designer, or I'll learn a trade or something. Right. To get from that point in, like, wow, you know, barely over 9 months. And now,
Happy birthday!
Hold on a second.
That's great. Is that a gigantic dancing teddy bear in your house?
It's a gigantic dancing teddy bear.
My wife was running over to take a peek.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Ethan. Edwin
What
just
the hell
loses
is
it.
going on?
I imagine you can see the nonplussed look on my daughter's face because that's her teddy bear.
I know, right?
And, my son decided to crawl up inside of.
Edwin laughing.
Never a dull moment in the Miller household.
Oh.
Never a dull moment.
I'm sorry. Hang on, let me compose myself. I wasn't ready.
Oh man.
Oh. Hey, brother. Oh.
Chat's like, what is happening?
Oh, it gets me every time I watch it though. When the little bear gets scooped up. That's good stuff.
Man, you lost it, man.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, guys, I'm exhausted. We're about
That's good stuff.
we're about a half hour past.
Man, you lost it, man.
Oh, what the heck?
Oh.
Let me turn this off. Are you gonna sing us out, Ethan?
I can't remember anything. Can't tell if this is true or dream. I don't have like Metallica on the piano.
Feel the scream. This terrible silence stops with me. It's much too
How would I do
real.
that? Landmine has taken my sight, taken my ears, taken my hearing, taken my heart,
arms,
taken my soul,
legs,
something,
taking my soul, left me with laughing hell.
with the life in hell.
I think that's the song I got in.
Work on piano.
I think that's the song I got in a fight at a Metallica concert during.
Well, I love you guys. Are we still live? Did we cut off?
No, we're. I mean, yeah, we're still live. I was waiting for you to wrap up your song. We would like to thank everyone for being here. Thank you, Edwin. Thank you, special guest Ethan Van Sciver. And we bid everyone aloha.
Aloha.
Bye-bye, everyone.
And Lone Star Squadron, you are dismissed.